The goblins at the NRA are upset that Thomas the Tank Engine is getting more diverse and decided to dress him up as a Klan member to retaliate? Hey, you're watching What's Trending, I'm Jonathan Harris. Make sure to subscribe for more super fun stories like this every day. Thomas the Tank Engine has a new friend from Kenya named Nia. She's part of a new collaboration between Mattel and the United Nations to inspire the next generation of global citizens and emphasize sustainable development. The idea is that Thomas and Friends will be a more well-rounded educational program if it contains characters from all over the world. But conservative culture warrior Dana Lash from NRA TV thinks it's a step too far.
Anyway, they've decided that the next stop is Virtue Town. Thomas the Tank is now bringing gender balance to the show by adding girl trains. Seriously, one of those trains, Nia, will be from Kenya to add ethnic diversity to the show.
Okay, there's an air of superiority in her voice there, but that's not that bad.
I mean, I'm looking at this picture and I'm really struggling to understand how in the world there isn't any diversity in any of this. Oh, was it because, I see it, it was the white hoods and the burning train tracks. Okay, fine, fair point, fair, I get it.
What the f? Okay, I think this is a joke, so I'm gonna make an attempt to break it down. They're making fun of Thomas and Friends for introducing female characters from other countries. And they're saying, what? Thomas the Tank Engine was racist and sexist before? I think that would look a little something like this. But that joke only works if the only reason in the world to add more diverse characters is if your show was previously racist. Which is itself, I don't know how to tell you this, Dana, very racist. Take Rugrats, for example. Rugrats was not an overtly racist show in its first few seasons, but at some point, the creators were like, all of the characters in this show are white, and a lot of people watch this show who aren't white. Maybe we should add some characters who look more like them too. And so they introduced Susie and Kimmy, and it was fine. The world didn't end. White kids didn't suddenly feel inferior because there was a black cartoon character on their favorite show. Now I know what you're thinking as you're furiously pounding on your keyboard to take my head out of my ass that I've just bathed in hemp and almond milk. You're saying, why do trains need diversity? They're trains. Well, don't worry, Dana Lash heard you and made that point herself.
How do you bring ethnic diversity? I mean, they had to paint what I guess they thought was some sort of African pattern on the side of Nia's engine. I mean, how do you bring ethnic diversity to a show that literally has no ethnicities? Because they're trains!
Nowhere in the show, or on Mattel's website, or anywhere else for that matter, did anyone ever say that Thomas is a Caucasian train. Believe it or not, it's possible to represent characters in ways other than skin tone. And kids are going to look at Nia the train and say, hey, that train looks different than Thomas. Maybe I should learn about that train. And that's the whole point, learning new things, curiosity. It's good to learn things about other people or other trains. It doesn't make you weak, and it doesn't mean you've fallen prey to PC culture. It just means you recognize you're part of a global society where what we do affects others. The other crazy thing is, this isn't even a brand new thing for Thomas and Friends. There have been lady trains from other countries before, including Ashima from India, who was introduced in 2016. There's also Young Bao from China and Shane from Australia. Yes, every country in the world has trains. A disastrous message for the youth of America. The mentally dexterous cardboard cutouts at Fox and Friends discussed this back in 2017, where co-host Abby Huntsman defended the show, much to the chagrin of the male co-hosts.
If there's an agenda thrown into this, does it pollute it? Remember when I said killing childhood? Okay, just change the characters.
Does that kill childhood, though?
No, but the agenda gets mixed in.
So, I'm about to have a girl, and to read her that book or to show her that movie, I don't think that
what if instead of
enter
agenda,
childhood.
Oh, Abby, you delicate soul. Can you imagine if your co-host and Jimmy Buffett box set owner Pete Hegseth had to watch an Asian Animaniac as a child? He would have been culturally educated. God, can you even imagine? And last thing before we go. What does this even have to do with the NRA? Shouldn't you guys be out picking fights with traumatized teenagers or something? This is just another entry in their bogus culture war to make older white Americans feel like the rest of the world is out to get them. And that strategy is working really well. These people get all riled up and then they vote. What do you guys think? Does a cartoon train from Africa really chap your hide? Let us know in the comments. And for more stories where cartoon characters may or may not dress up like neo-fascists, head over to whatstrending.com.